Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. I want to take you back 10 years and ask you to consider, what were you doing 10 years ago? For many of you, you will have been here. And 10 years ago, we had just defeated one of the assisted suicide bills that had been brought into Western Australian Parliament. And we felt very good about that because lives were subsequently saved as a result of that, the defeat of that legislation, 24 votes to 11. And no sooner had that legislation passed or been defeated, we found out that 14 Western Australian babies had been born alive and left to die. And I want to recognise tonight a former parliamentarian, not from my party, because this issue is beyond party politics. The Honourable Ed Dermer asked a question 10 years ago and uncovered this barbaric practice which continues in Western Australia today, where babies are born alive and left to die. Now, this was the state of affairs 10 years ago. And sadly, here we are 10 years later, and the situation has worsened. Because as you know, it has been made a top health priority in Western Australia to make sure that COVID-19 or not, on the 1st of July, we absolutely must make sure that West Australians have access to lethal injections if they want to take their life. And in the meantime, the number of babies that have been born alive and left to die have increased. And we know that there are at least 26 that have taken place in Western Australia. One of the issues that gives us no confidence in this area is frequently when we ask questions of the government, and that's not necessarily limited to the current government. This is again an issue that crosses the political divide. We get different responses. But at the moment we're told that it is 26. So in 10 years we've come to a situation in Western Australia where a majority of parliamentarians in the upper house said no to assisted suicide. They chose to care rather than to kill. And now we have a very, very different parliament, and we have more babies than ever who are born alive and left to die. Now, this should be front page news. The media should be all over this, particularly in circumstances where only just recently, as recent as last week in the parliament, we were debating about the tragic life lost at Perth Children's Hospital. A dear life, a 7-year-old girl. Her parents came to Perth Children's Hospital expecting first-class medical treatment, and in the end left with a deceased daughter. That's a 7-year-old. That should shock us. And again, I just ask you to pause for a moment, particularly those of you who are parents, those of you who are mothers and have delivered a son or a daughter, those of you who are fathers and have witnessed that, and contemplate for a moment the brutality of one of these babies being born alive and left to die. Now, this is why I'm asking you this evening to provide your full support to the Coalition for the Defence of Human Life. They have a petition that is being circulated. This practice has to stop. The speaker earlier, Anushka, I've not met before, and her powerful, powerful testimony. And if I love anything about this evening is that we are here on the steps of Parliament, we're looking out on the city of Perth, and she has said enough is enough. And surely that must apply to this barbarism of babies being born alive and left to die. I confess that at the start of this Parliament, we've just started a new Parliament, the 41st Parliament, I personally felt very tired. The weight of all of these issues continuing to pile on, and it gives me an enormous encouragement to stand here tonight and see the largest rally I have ever seen at Parliament. And once again, I want to congratulate you for year in, year out, not only coming, but also holding the most peaceful and respectful rally. It is a great witness, it is a great testimony, and it's entirely consistent with your motto, which I share, which is, let us love them both. Thank you.